Hey everyone. So today I had big plans. I woke up this morning. I said, right, that's it. Gonna sort myself out, do a bit of shopping, feed the grandkids, sort them out, settle them down, go out, meet my daughter from work. And meeting my daughter from work, we stopped at a pub. And then what started off as a nice, gentle, innocuous half a glass of wine turned into shots, 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 shots. So, yeah. And then that last shot was green tequila. I don't know if you've ever had that before. Well, it's supposed to be lime tequila, but Lord have mercy, it was just basically tequila with some lime colouring. And it was a mocha. Yes. Anywho, so I am going to do a little something today, but honest to goodness, I can't promise how it's going to sound, what it's going to come out like, if it's going to be useful to you. I can only hope, and this is me being diligent and persistent, and I hope you appreciate it. I appreciate it about myself. Anywho, so so we were discussing loss and how we're going to deal with that together. So as I said, I have, and I suppose this is probably, if I say nothing at all, this is the main thing of what I wanted to say today, is that I have, part of my disability is that I have avoidance disorder. Now, everyone thinks they've got avoidance disorder, but that's not the case. Avoidance disorder is very different from avoiding things that you need to do every now and then and letting it get out of hand. Avoidance disorder lets it get out of hand, then it lets it get to a place where it's now either life-threatening or threatens your home, shelter, threatens your family. Do you understand? That's what makes it an actual disorder, because it becomes something that's that you know for sure that if you avoid this particular thing, it's going to destroy everything, but you do it anyway because you just can't. I imagine it's the same way people who have OCD feel, when people say, oh, everyone's a little bit of OCD. No, OCD is a very different beast from being super organized and really needing things clean and feeling uncomfortable if they're not, and all of that. It's a very different beast from the actual diagnosis of OCD. And it can be life destroying and threatening sometimes. So I have avoidance disorder, and so when I say what I'm saying to you, I'm saying it to myself, but I'm saying it, I hope, to people who don't have avoidance disorder, just have been putting things off because it's too frightening and too scary. That I get. But this is what I would say to you is, if you have a really good friend in your life, you really have a really good family member in your life who you really trust, not to judge you, not to just pile on when you probably pile on yourself every single day about this particular thing. If it's housing, and if it's a mortgage, you probably pile on yourself all of the time. Like, how did I let it get this bad? How did, what could I have done? All of the questions that you ask yourselves. What I would say to you is, if you have a really good friend, let that person just sit with you while you have a conversation. Because what I've found is that the bank are willing to talk to you if you would just talk to them. And I'm not saying it's going to give you the thing that you want, which is probably to keep your home. That's what everyone would want. But if you've gotten to a place where either your physical health has made it such that you're not able to do the work that you normally do, or your mental health has gotten so bad that you're not able to keep up with all of the things that it takes to be able to keep a mortgage intact and together, or you've gotten so wildly out of debt because of whatever reason, whether it's grief or whether it's just, sometimes nonchalance in times when you should be chalant. Tequila. What I would say to you is that have a conversation, because one of the things that I realized is that if you go to court yourself, you go to a court, you say, I would like a hearing in front of a judge, and I know that when I ask for that hearing, the bank will be there, and if you've got shared ownership, the bank will be there, and also the housing association will be there. So it depends on what your setup is. Having a conversation means that you don't have to have that devastating day that people always are afraid of. The thing that you're afraid of, what most people are afraid of when you say eviction or repossession, the thing that most people are afraid of is the day. They're afraid of this day where you'll be in your house, you'll be in your nightie, you'll be in your slippers, you'll have a coffee in your hand, someone will knock at the door, and then another person will be behind them, and that's a locksmith, and then you've got the bailiff, and then you've got maybe a couple of police, depending on what your mental health is like, and then you've got the bank representative there, and then they say, right, you've got 2 hours to get out of the house, and then all of a sudden you have to grab up as much as you can in that 2 hours, and then in 2 hours time you're sitting at a council office saying to them, can you please house me? That's what most people are afraid of. They're afraid of this crazy day where they get thrown out of their house. I'm saying to you that I think, and when I say this to you, I'm saying it as somebody who has avoidance disorder, the real thing. Who literally, for the year after my father passed, I couldn't go from the bedroom to the toilet. I was so afraid of leaving my bedroom. I got a bucket in my room, a commode in my room, and peed in my room because I couldn't go from there to the toilet. That's avoidance. As someone with avoidance disorder, I'm saying to you that if you can get a friend who you love and you trust, who won't judge you, who will just go through the process with you, and they can help you to just go down to the courts, make an application. I think it costs £24. I don't know what it is for people in America, but you are able to just apply to speak to a judge. What you'll find is that the magistrate is a reasonable person. You'll find that if you don't go in with this idea that you've done everything right, because who has ever, but if you go in with more of a, you know what, you guys have been fantastic actually, like I've been able to manage to stay in my home for this long because you guys have been patient, you've reached out, you've done this, you've written letters, you've tried to call, if you go in with that attitude, then what I would say to you is you might have the same situation that I have right now, which is because of that conversation, I am able to take my time and leave my property in my own time. So even though now I have a date, I've been waiting for that date for like 4 months since I had the actual court appearance, because I asked for a couple of weeks because I thought that I needed a couple of weeks, and I had friends come round and try to rush and take things out and this, that and the other. It was mad. But actually, the bank has given me all this time, and it's not just time. It's like they've not given me a date to say, you know what, people are going to show up on your doorstep on this date. What they've said is that if there's anything that you need that's more, you can have a court date on that date. So I have a date now. I'm going to move out by that date, because I really want it to be a situation where I've got everything out and I've taken my time to do it, and then I can go to a representative from the bank, give them the keys, and because the place is empty, that all they now need to do is, you know, go in, change the locks, do all of that stuff, not without me being there. That's nothing to do with me after that, because I don't live there anymore. So, and there's such a sense of relief doing that, you know, especially if you've been fighting for a really long time and you haven't known what to do and you don't know where you're going to be, and just knowing that that is not a battle that you have to have. That whole picture in your mind of being dragged out, you know, clutching at the door frames by your nails, is a relief. It's a relief. So I can't talk too much because, as I say, there's a lot of tequila in here. And the last one was green. I don't even know why. They said it was lime, but what I would like to say is that I think it's really important to get ahead right now. Like, you might not have ever been able to do that before, but find a friend, find a family member who you really trust, and let them push you past your avoiding doing this. Push you past that picture in your head. And I promise you, it will feel so much better for you. Is it going to feel perfect? No, of course not. You're losing something, and it's painful, and it hurts, and there are a lot of things that you know, memories that you probably have from that place. Good, both good and bad, but still memories. So there's always a desire to hold on for dear life. But if you see to yourself that your health is not getting any better, or you've lost your job and you're not going to get the same type of job, or you can't find the job right now, and you're just not going to be able to negotiate your way out of this. If that is the case, and it's gotten to that place, and you know that you are going to get evicted, your place is going to be repossessed. If you've already done that, you know that already. It's painful, and you're dealing with that pain. I would say control the way that it happens. Yeah? Be in control of how it happens, so that you lessen the trauma for yourself. Because why add to it? Why add that horrible picture of being forced to go? No. You choose now. Choose. Give them a date. Say, I will move out by this date. And if they don't accept that, then they'll give you a date. And then at least you'll know it's that date. And it gives you a bit of time. In England, I'm not sure what it's like in America, but you have a thing called a breathing space that you can apply for at any time. It gives you 3 months, I believe. No, 2 months. And in that 2 months, no one can do anything. No one can write you letters. No one can call you. No one can move forward on any legal proceedings. If you really, 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 really feel that you're just not ready, get the breathing space. And what I would say is that 2 months, use that 2 months to move out. Take your time bit by bit, but that gives you a whole 2 months. And 2 months is a long time. And I'm talking about, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to myself, because I'm talking about 24 years, almost 25 years of life's stuff. shoes, clothes, instruments, bags, pots, pans, utensils, chairs, beds. You know, like, it's a lot. 2 months is a surprisingly long time when you really crack at it bit by bit by bit. Now, I don't have that option because I've used my breathing space multiple times to keep this place. So I don't have that option. But what I do have is the confidence to go to a judge. So I've done that a couple of times already. I've gone, said to the judge, this is the situation. Please don't fault the bank, because the bank have been patient. They have tried their very best to work with me in the times when I haven't been making much money, and they've also worked with me in the times when I've been making loads of money. So I can't say that the bank is at fault here. I am at fault. I have got physical problems and some mental problems like avoidance disorder and ADHD. I've got a few things that it's outside of their control, and they don't care about that, and it's not for them to care about that. That's perfectly fine. So what I've done is gone in and said, listen, with all the things that I have, they've still been patient, and they've still given me time and still had conversations with me. And the judge has appreciated that. And so because he's appreciated that, he said, okay, I can't rule in your favour. And I get that. What I can do is say to the bank, my recommendation is. And so he would recommend then a date or a time frame in which to do things. And so far the bank have been awesome. They've listened. So I still have like another month before I really have to move. But I just won't have the day, that the scary day that everyone usually expects. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, just for you to gather yourself. This is not the end at all. It really, really isn't. I don't care how old you are. As I've said to you before, I'm 54. So the likelihood of me getting a 25-year mortgage is unlikely. But I can get a 10-year mortgage. 10-year mortgages happen all the time. So it is possible for me to buy somewhere else if that's what I want to do, which I do. And I can't put that on you. You may decide, you know what, let me go to the local authorities, and they might give you something, especially depending on if you have physical disabilities. They'll give you something perfectly fine, and sometimes really nice. I mean, my goodness, you want to see some of the places that they're making in Maida Vale, where I used to live. Beautiful places. So you will not be without shelter, is what I'm saying to you, and you will do it in your own time. And what I'd like you to do is get as much control back as possible, because that's what you feel that you're losing, is control. And you can get control by just controlling how long it takes you to leave, how you leave, what you get rid of, the things that you really need to throw away. Because my goodness, I've got so many things to just throw away. I had no idea. I thought I needed all of the stuff, every last bit of it, and actually I need not very much of it. So yeah, just take heart, be strong, and talk to your friends or your family. Talk to that person that you know just doesn't judge you ever. They just don't. And they don't feel like they have a right to, because they know their own stuff. Yeah, if you really have been through some stuff in your life and done some stuff in your life, you can't judge anybody. And so what you want is that friend. You want that person who knows that about themselves and is willing to just walk through you. Now, they might not do all the moving. You might have other friends who are really good at that stuff, because I do. I'm quite blessed that way. I've got some friends who I wouldn't call on them to do all the legal bits because they just won't come. But if you say to them in a pinch, can you bring your van, come to my place, or can you bring your car, I need to do 5 back and forths from here to there, they will do that. So you have different friends, different skills, different strengths, and different willingness in certain things. They know their own strengths, so they know what they're willing to give and take out of their own time from their families. They know what they're willing to give. So I would say call on the people that love you, because a lot of the times, especially when you're going through these things, that's when you find out who your real friends are. You really do. You know, when everything is going great, you can't tell who are your friends. Like, you've got a bunch of them, but you can't tell who are your real friends. Where it's stuff like this that tells you the friends that you can actually rely on and trust. And so that's what I'd like you to do. And that's what I'm doing for myself as well. Really, really, really leaning on my friends a little, because I never do that. Like, you know, I'm the guy who just, you don't have to speak to for 2 years if you don't need to, because I won't be asking you, not even for a cup of sugar. But now, give me the cup of sugar and the tea and the sandwich. I want it all. Give it to me, because I need it right now. And I may never ask again, but right now I need it. And that's who I want you to look for in your life. That guy, the sugar guy, the sandwich guy, the person who you know that if you in a pinch, they're there. All right. So I think I did okay, considering I am absolutely hammered. But yeah, I hope that that's helpful to you. Really, really, I do, because I do love you so much. And you can have a cup of water in 2 minutes, darling. I'll be out in 2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. I'm so blessed. So yes, I really do love you, and I really care for you, because I know what you're going through. I can't obviously, you know, there are different bits and pieces, but for the most part, I know what loss is, and I know what we're going through right now together. But I also know that we're going to get through it and get to the other side of it. And once you're on the other side, you look back and it won't look nearly as bleak as it does today. Just got to get through this bit. So take care. Remember how strong you are. And if you don't know that, get someone to tell you. Because I think if somebody else who's been adjacent to your life is talking to you and they tell you the things that they've seen you go through already, I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll realize that as tough as this is, you've been through worse. And you've gotten through it. And you're in your sound mind. You're in your right mind. Able to have conversations. Able to think. Still be creative. Still work. Still be a parent. Still be a friend. You're able to do all of those things and go through it. And I know that you can do it again. So take care. And remember, you're loved and you're not alone. And I'll speak to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.